I'm going to go over reading since it's 6. So I'm going to talk about my 3 take-home points. The first is, in the book, it talks about motivation, but it was defined in multiple ways. For example, one of the definitions talked about drive, while the other one talked about more about the effort and the direction that your effort can go into. So that made me realize as a coach that I really had to figure out a way that I can define my motivation and talk to my athletes about what I see motivation. And also realize that since motivation has so many parts to it, that I really have to understand each athlete's motivation and what motivates them. So my second take-home point talks about, in hindsight, I realized that coaches have to talk to their athletes about school, about how they feel about on the team, how they feel about the team environment. But I know as a coach that there's so many hats that you wear and so many things that you have to do that it's kind of that gets into the weight side. So it's just a really nice reminder that I really need to talk to my athletes about team environment, about the different skills that they're learning, how they're feeling, and just overall how their life is going. And lastly, I didn't know that achievement goal theory and self-determination theory were so similar by the way of sport and understanding. Excuse me. And I realized that as a coach, I really need to learn more about these theories. So, for the comparing and contrasting, both the book and article talked about self-determination theory, which was awesome and was a very positive way and very positive theory for coaches. But the book wrote more about the theory of being a more motivational climate and talking about the 3 intrinsic motivations, which was freely participating, an atmosphere that was positive, and also skill mastery and the importance of having a satisfying environment. However, the article went over more of the autonomy support, which included meaningful choices, input, and understanding the perspective of an athlete. But either way, I realized that this theory is one that I need to put into my coaching style and that I think will help my athletes be able to achieve even more. So I guess my 2 questions would be, is there ever a time where athletes shouldn't have input? I noticed that both the book and article talked a lot about athletes should have input and how that could motivate them intrinsically and how they feel more a part of things. But I just want to know, is there any time that athletes shouldn't have the input? And my second question is, do you ever think there's a time that having an athlete's input is a good thing? Like maybe how skills should be reviewed or how you should see something differently. I just am curious if anyone else thinks like, yes, this is a great time that an athlete should have their input. Okay, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much. See y'all later in class.